While part of the backlog order issue lies with manufacturing employment, the other part has to do with import bottlenecks. Now, I pulled the map above from marinetraffic.com's live map feature. This is a view of moored and anchored ships right outside of the port of LA and Long Beach. Over the last 30 days, roughly 28% of all domestic imports into the U.S. have come through the port of LA and Long Beach combined, which represents roughly 222,000 TEUs. Needless to say, these ports channel a significant amount of freight into the United States. Now, there are currently 30 ships anchored outside of these ports currently waiting to get unloaded due to a surge in purchased goods in the latter half of 2020. Unfortunately, there are only so many cranes available to unload containers, chassis to transport those containers, drivers, and consistent labor on site at the ports due to COVID. An additional concern in dwindling down the number of anchored ships lies in origin backlogs. For example, typically during the Chinese New Year, vessels blank or cancel roughly 20% of sailings from Asia to the West Coast due to a decrease in container export volume. This would typically allow for any bottlenecking, like we're seeing now at the ports, to self-correct. However, this year, to get caught up, container vessels from Asia to the West Coast are only expected to blank roughly 2% of sailings during the Chinese New Year, which starts on February 12th and is a 15-day celebration. Now, while container movement is not expected to decrease much during this time period, we expect factory output to come to a screeching halt and not come back online probably until the second week of March, or at least not come back online to before Chinese New Year levels until the second week of March. Now you combine that with a recent second stimulus and a third stimulus check more than likely to roll out in the early days of the new administration. Personal savings rate in the U.S. currently at 13%, which is at a 4-decade high, and a slow-moving vaccine distribution continuing to restrict service spending, and you get a consumer flush with cash that's burning a hole in their pockets that's more than likely will contribute to money being spent on goods rather than services.